She knows how to communicate with small businesses in very simple terms, and is great. She's really great at what she does. She led a legal team that closed like an asset transfer for a Nigerian pharmacy. So thank you everyone for joining in on the conversation. Today we are just going to be, before I get into that, I'm sure we all know that in Nigeria today, there's just been an influx of entrepreneurs, either relocating fully or getting like dual citizenship in multiple countries, from the US, the United States, Canada, UK, and a number of other countries. And I know that a chunk of that population, right, migrating to other countries are entrepreneurs who have been running thriving businesses in Nigeria, or have just even started, but they still like what they're doing and they find it really interesting. Or even people who are still in Nigeria and are considering moving to other countries and just want to understand like the legal implication of operating a Nigerian entity while living out of the country, or maintaining the dual citizenship, or even just running it from wherever they will now be based, or they are now based. And it was just important to get a business lawyer that I really respect, and I'll tell you why. So we have Bukola Agbola with us. Bukola has been in the bar for about 18 years, University of Leicester, and she is so passionate about businesses, small businesses, startups, she understands. She knows how to communicate with small businesses in very simple terms, and is great. She's really great at what she does. So, it's a real pleasure having Buki join us. Just a bit of a background. Very recently, in line with what we are even talking about today, Buki she led the legal team that closed like an asset transfer for a Nigerian pharmacy looking to transfer ownership to another pharmacy locally, right, because of relocation matters. So, it's such a pleasure having you with us, Buki, to share as we ask questions. And I'm very sure we'll have a really interesting session and very value adding to everyone who has joined us today.
Okay, thank you very much, HMA. It's great to be here, and thanks to everyone for joining in. I'm sure we're going to have a great time. But I'm going to start with a caveat, right? I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use my local dialects, but there's something we say in Yoruba, so it means that for all, everything for all. So when you're speaking with a lawyer, right, a lawyer needs to understand your particular industry, your particular business, whatever it is. I can give a general, but for me to be into details, I need to have a personal consultation with you. So today I'm just going to be talking on a base level of things that you need to do if you're planning to relocate and you're running a business in Nigeria, right? So HMA asked me a couple of questions that I will just go right into, some of the questions.
Absolutely.
I hope everyone can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great.
So if you can't hear, you can wave. Yeah. Sorry, Buki. So if you can't hear Buki, you can just wave, or just drop a comment, or if you have questions as she's going along, you can drop a comment, and I'm sure she would address it.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. Okay, so the first question AJ asked me was, what are the legal structures that need to be in place when you are relocating as an entrepreneur who intends to retain business opportunities in Nigeria? So that's just saying that you've been in Nigeria all this while, you've started your business and you're doing really well, and you're looking to relocate, which is not a bad idea, because even when you relocate, for me, I would advise that even when you relocate, you should ensure that you get a subsidiary or a branch of your company in Nigeria over there. It's a way of you expanding your business. But now we're talking about the fact that you have a business in Nigeria, you're thinking of relocating, what are the things that you need to be considering? So like HMS said, I'm very passionate about startups. I'm very passionate about the fact that startups need to start it right and do the things that they need to do. Nigeria is not a country where people easily listen to lawyers, or people think that they need lawyers, right? But it's very essential.
Yep.
Because if you don't get it right, you would have to spend a lot of money to get it right eventually. But if you had started right from the start, then there's no need to spend any extra money. So the first thing I would say here is that you need to ensure that you get it right starting. So let's say you're planning to relocate and maybe you just started a business. Ensure that you get it right. Ensure that before you even go into that business, right, you get the proper legal consultation. I know CAC is online now and everyone can register. You don't even need a lawyer to literally register your business online. But you need a lawyer to be able to guide you into the things that you need to do, right? So one of the ways I will answer it is having the proper structure. So you're thinking of relocating, right? And I'm not going to be quoting sections of the law, because HMA has come earlier on. She wanted me to simplify it to the best possible way. So I'm just going to try and be explaining sometimes with scenarios or things that I'm involved in, right? So I would say that the first thing is you need to check the structure that you have, the legal structure that you currently have. When I say legal structure, I mean what type of business did you register? Did you register as a sole proprietor, a limited liability? Whatever it is that you register as, that needs to be checked as well, because there are some of them that don't give you the flexibility that you need, because you will not be in Nigeria. I don't know where it is. You're probably thinking of relocating to maybe Canada, America. You won't be in Nigeria. So you need a structure that affords you that flexibility and affords you that control, right? So that even if you put people in place, there are things that structure allows to protect you, right? So I'll go into further. Please just let me know if I'm indicating it.
No, you're not. So I think you're spot on, right? Okay. So let me ask this same question in a little different way. So, and I want to use scenarios. I run a food business in Nigeria that I'm very excited about, right? And I am looking to move out of Nigeria to any country, right? However, the business is growing. I can see traction, and I am not ready to close that business down because I'm not going to be available in Nigeria fully. What are the 3 things I need to consider? I think I heard you mention structure a lot, which is very great. So when you say structure, so what do you mean? Is it possible to just give, what kind of structure do we need to have in place? Yeah. And are there 2 other things you want us to consider, right? If we are looking to still maintain business or retain business operation in Nigeria while living abroad. So you're going to remain a dual citizen of both Nigeria and whatever country, and you want to still keep your local entity. And for whatever reason, right, your structure would be very critical when you're trying to open the bank account. We know how the CBN has been very stringent, so pretty volatile. New things can just pop up. What are those things we need to put in place? So structure, can you expatiate on structure? And are there other things you would like us to consider?
Okay, so when I say structure, so let me take 2 types. Let me talk about the proprietorship and the limited liability.
Okay.
Right. I would expect you to run with a sole proprietorship if you're relocating.
I see.
Reason being, it's a one-man business, right? So there's not so much control.
I see.
So I would more advise that you go with a limited liability, right? So let me give an example as well. So there's a new law, there's the new KAMA 2020, right? That sort of protects you. So let me just try and, in the best possible way, try and simplify this.
Okay.
So there's parts of the law that says that people who wants to sell shares in your company, they need to first of all offer it to those that have shares in that company.
Okay.
right? It sort of protects you from having insiders coming in and ruin the business.
I see.
So today I'm talking about legal issues, the ways that you can protect yourself, because the major thing, what a lawyer would advise you on is protection majorly.
Okay.
The fact that you protect that business and ensure that all the pillars that the business needs are there to ensure that it's growing at the rate at which it should grow normally.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If you were to relocate, it would be much more better to, have a limited liability, right?
Okay.
So that offer you those protection. Like I said, they can't sell shares to anybody without, first of all, offering it to those in the company.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if you want somebody else on board, because you can't leave. So let's say you are the only shareholder and the director in the company. I wouldn't advise for you to just leave it to your employees.
I see.
Personal.
I see.
So you most likely have to bring somebody on board that you've done agreements with.
Okay.
You guys have you've spoken with your lawyer and all that to ensure that this person can literally handle. Because I come across entrepreneurs that are relocating, and when they tell you certain things, you wonder, someone telling me that, I'm just going to hand over to this person, and you didn't take any legal measures, draft up agreements, to have them, to give them some shares, to have some things in your article. So I'll talk about the article a bit, right? When you're registering your company, there's something called the article. Consultation. It's sort of like the rules that your company must live by, right? It's like the regulation, right?
Yes.
So let me give an example of a child in a class. There are regulations in class, and the regulation says, don't run around when the teacher is teaching. So the articles are like the regulations of what the company can do, what the company cannot do, right? So it's important that this actually, when you're relocating, all these things, all the things that you need your company to do, the ways that you need to protect your company, this is looked at in the article. Do you understand? So that is already in the article as well. So that's one way. I don't know if I've
said
one.
I think you said two. Yeah. So based on all I heard you say, so you talked about having a limited liability company instead of a sole proprietorship, because that gives you like the flexibility to get like a proxy or someone who can act in your stead when you're not available. And the law under a limited liability company structure allows or provides for that, right? Because they then own shares. And then you also talked about having the right agreements, right, with whoever is going to be on ground fully to run your business, right? Just to have the right, which is still part of structure. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share?
So I also want to share that the terrain for businesses in Nigeria is actually getting much more better.
Okay.
Right? This is not to encourage anybody not to jackpot or to relocate. I mean,
it's okay if you encourage them. It's fine. It's okay.
So I'm just saying that things are getting better. So I will still talk about the KAMA 2020.
Okay.
There are a lot of innovation came in through the KAMA 2020, right? And in these things like you can do meetings online, you can do your transfer of shares online. There are a lot of things you can do online now, unlike before. So you can actually work. You are literally still working in your company. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. Like
you are here. So you can do things virtually, remotely, from wherever you are.
Okay, so that's a really important point. So based on that, what you just shared now, so are you saying that someone who has moved out of Nigeria already and had like a sole proprietorship structure on ground before leaving, are you saying that the flexibility of the CAC now allows you to improve your company structure, change your company structure virtually, right? Can you do that without the help of a lawyer, or do you still need to get a lawyer to do that?
Yes, you can do that without the help of a lawyer, right? But where I would advise that you get a lawyer, right, is not in the process of it. It's just to get advice,
I see.
Do you get it? To ensure that you are even sure of what you're doing.
The structure that you're going for.
System is much better that you can do whatever it is you want to do by yourself. But most times when you get there, because they are not legal terms, they are very explanatory, but sometimes people are still confused. So you still need to get the advice of a lawyer before you do it. But you can as well go ahead
and do it by yourself. Okay. Now, so let's go to your one of your very recent experiences, right? I know that you recently advised the company a pharmacy in Nigeria who was thriving and was looking to transfer the company to another company, right? Because that is most likely an option that people might want to explore. You have a thriving business, you are looking to travel, or you're even in Nigeria and you're just looking to sell your company without having to get an investment bank or get the transaction parties to bloat up your transaction parties, because you're just a small company, right, who is growing astronomically. Do you want to share? Again, I understand that there's confidentiality and you can't share on a live case study, but do you want to just paint a scenario on how that will work, right? What are the structures that should be considered in an asset transfer when you're transferring one business to another party, a potential buyer who is interested, without having like a full transaction structure, transaction parties?
Okay, so this is how I would always start my questions, that you need to ensure that as a business, as an ongoing business, when you start up and when you're growing, you need to ensure that you have everything in place. So your taxes are very important.
I see.
I mean, when a foreign entity is coming in, or when somebody is coming in to invest or to buy, it's very important that you have your books in place.
Okay.
That everything is in place, right? And even if you've not been getting everything in place, ensure that you actually do start getting everything in place, right? So like AJ said, I advised a client who owned a pharmacy and she was really running a pharmacy properly, so I advised her, and then we actually went through an asset transfer purchase. So I'll explain a little bit of what that means, right? So this was the way she was planning to relocate, right? I mean, sometimes it's not like we plan to relocate. Maybe you're married and your husband is relocating and you just have to go, because our business was actually really thriving in Nigeria. So she had to relocate. And then, so what she did was she still wanted to maintain a company name, right? And still leave the company name there, nothing wrong. She didn't want to sell off the company totally. She just wanted to sell off the assets that she had in her company. So the assets included drugs, included generators, every single thing in the store, in the pharmacy, right? And then there was a foreign entity that come in. They were looking to expand into Nigeria. So the way they wanted to do it was to buy existing pharmacy instead of, because sometimes it's much better if you want to go into those businesses, just buy existing ones and the reason being that people already know these brands. They already trust them, right? Or the particular location, right? So they wanted to buy, the pharmacy and all that. So, I was the lead in making sure that happened, and that went through. So a lot of things that happened, was we first of all had agreements before we totally concluded. It's usually back and forth. It's back and forth with these things about how, this is what I want, this is what I want, this and that, negotiating to ensure that we got the best deal for our clients, and ensuring that nothing came back, just protecting our clients generally, that nothing happens from that. And then so when these transactions goes through, tax is a major thing, and I know that a lot of entrepreneurs are very afraid of tax, and I don't see the reason why. I think it's just because they don't understand taxation. That's why they run away, and running away just causes you to incur penalties that normally you shouldn't incur. The rules are better now. Sorry, I'm going up and down, but I'll just tie everything in later on. The rules are better now in Nigeria. So now, if you start a company, you don't even have to pay taxes. If you're not making up to 25 million naira annually currently in Nigeria. You don't have to pay VAT, you don't have to pay company income tax, right? But you do have to file your monthly returns every month. It just means that you're just telling them that, oh, I'm not making 25, oh, I'm not charging VAT because I'm not yet making 25 million naira, right? So the regime is actually a bit more easier. Doing business in Nigeria is a bit more easier, but you just have to ensure that you do the things that you have to do. So we went through everything with the client, and then, it even comes to situations whereby you can tell the other party to put the money in an escrow so that the money can be kept while we are, because a lot of things had to go on, a lot of inventory, taking hold of the inventory. These were drugs, so some of them, will expire while we're still on the level of the transaction. So a lot of details into all these things and all that. So we did conclude the matter. So you always have different options, even if you're winding up your company. If you had sought the consultation of a lawyer, you would have been able to get some things right. So I will give an example. Let's say you're running your business now and the business needs cash. Sometimes we would advise that, give it out as a loan to the business, rather than just say, I'm pouring money into the business. Make sure that is tagged as a loan, so that even when you're winding up your business, you are seen as one of the creditors in the business, and you can get back that loan that you did loan to your own company. Okay, so there are a lot of intricacies involved in it, but you just need to seek the advice of legal counsel and business experts as well, like AJ, as well, to just guide you through transactions.
Yes. Yeah. So if I was to take like 2 or 3 things off what you just talked about, I would say the first is ensure that you are keeping your record, and that somehow is going to be tied to taxes, because you're being taxed by the tax authorities based on your income. In the case of VAT, based on your top line revenue, right? So record keeping is everything. If you're looking to sell or transfer assets, sell fully or partially, in this case, asset transfer to a potential buyer because you're relocating. Okay, that's really helpful. I will ask one more question so that we can give some room to people to ask questions. The third question I was going to ask is, I'm running a company in Nigeria. What are the 1-2 things I need to know? So I'm running a business in Nigeria again, and I have some foreign investors talking to me. What are the things I need to know as a business owner before I can attract foreign capital?
Okay, as a business owner, before you attract foreign capital
or foreign investors' participation, which is capital most times. Yeah. Okay.
So the first thing I would say, like I usually say, is ensure that you have the right structure. That's very key, because when foreign investors are coming in, there are certain things they are looking for. And you would say that one of the reasons why foreign investors don't really want to invest in certain countries, I won't say Nigeria because I'm very patriotic. I'm hoping that.
But we can say Nigeria. It's okay.
But one of the reasons why some investors don't, invest in some Nigerian companies, that are registered in Nigeria, is because of the limitation of the share structures that we have.
Okay.
We don't have enough, unlike other countries where there are better structures.
Right.
Shares.
Yeah, we are all patriotic, but yeah, you can use Nigeria as a case study. That's okay.
Okay, so we need to. I guess we're looking for more reforms in that area, right? But when the foreign investors are coming in, so they want to look at, like I said, the structure that you have. You don't expect a foreigner to want to invest in a sole proprietor. No way.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way that what's going to give them that return or that protection for the capital that they're investing in your company. So like I said, always get the structure right. I mean, you can start small as a sole proprietor, but if you're looking for investment, then you need to get the right structure. So structure is very key, you know, and ensuring that your books are in place. You know, HMA is at a better position to advise regarding, you know, investors coming in as well. But for me, legally, it's just ensuring the investors want to ensure that you've dotted your I's, you know, in your business. There's nothing that makes them liable in any way at all, you know. So that's just ensuring that everything is in order, you know, and that's why I would say that it's important for every business. It's important because I see a lack of this in Nigeria, where Nigerian businesses just feel like they don't need professionals. Like, you know, I can do it myself.
You don't need structure. You don't need professionals. I see.
We need professionals to ensure that, because when you're thinking of relocating, that's not when you will now think of, or you are thinking of investment. That's not the time to start putting things in order. You need to have things in order right from the start, so that when that time comes that you need to relocate. I mean, when we helped this client, there were so many things that gave her, that were used for the negotiation, that she was used to get a lot more than what she would have gotten.
I see.
So it's that you run the business the right way, which I'm very passionate about. There's no point going into business and you are not ready for the business of it. You know, it shouldn't just be a survival thing. It should be a thing whereby you're running your business and you have the hopes that one day you can even sell off the business and start another one. Or, you know, people can to buy shares in the business. So just ensuring that I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of, you know, oh, this is what you should do legally and all that. But I mean, leave the things to the legal and let them ensure that you get everything right. We have great lawyers. We have great lawyers in Nigeria.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, thank you so much, Buki. You've shared on a lot of things. You talked a lot about structure. I think you couldn't even emphasize it enough. You just kept going on about structure. And to me, or for me, that just points to the fact that your structure is very important. And just to mention, guys, when people say structure, a lot of us business owners believe that it is a cost that we can afford at that stage of our life cycle. And I don't fully agree, because there are different ways to bring in structure into your company. Right. Again, just, you know, having a conversation with a business consultant, a legal advisor will just give you like some insights into the kind of, they are very simple structures. I mean, if you're talking about human capital, you don't have to have everyone as an employee. You can get independent contractors. You can outsource some roles. You can have full-time employees working with you. You can look at the cost benefits and the value that your hire is going to bring to your team or to your table. I mean, I don't want to go into that because that's a whole new conversation. I want to keep everything we are saying within the scope of what we are talking about, which is about legal matters around participation and foreign, around relocation and foreign investors' participation. Yeah. So, I mean, do we have any questions? Thank you so much, Buki.
For the questions, I just wanted to say a couple of other things about people that have relocated.
Okay.
I know that a lot of people that have relocated now, they run services and offer it to their Nigerian customers. So you mean you're running services from wherever you've relocated. You're selling to, you know, offering those services to, you know, maybe Nigerian customers and all that. You also need to get advice, because there's a lot of regulations coming up, you know, especially regarding taxing of digital economy. You know, Nigeria is now awake to the fact that there's a lot going on. You know, Netflix is coming in, Netflix is running movies, they are making money from Nigerians and all that. So there's a lot of taxation going on in that digital economy that most people need to be aware of, so that you are not caught unawares. Ignorance is not, a fact of it. Just they are not things that, because they are industry specific. So it's until we can be able to speak, and then I can be able to know, especially what to guide you on. Just to be sure that you are aware and all that.
Okay. Oh, great. So just to mention before, we ask questions. Bookie actually has, I always find the caption very interesting. So, make your choice. Do you want to spend 30 minutes on Netflix, or do you want a 30 minute free consultation with Bookie, right? And take it from there. She has that available. So if you go to her bio, book a 30-minute session to chat with her, and she will just, you guys can proceed from there. Yeah. Are there questions from anyone? Is there anything you would have loved us to touch on specifically that we didn't get to? It would be great to hear from everyone. Yeah. So if there are any questions, legal questions that you have, because we're rounding up right about now, if you can drop it here, you just go to Opal Practice on Instagram. Just follow Bookie's handle. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Taiwo. So you can go to Bookie's handle. You can, stop by for a 30 minutes conversation, right? Legal consultation, and you take things from there. And she talked about structures a lot. If you would like to speak to me, and you are a small business and you keep hearing structures, but you're not even sure of the type of structures that you need to have in place, we can have a conversation as well. I have free sessions too in my bio. Just go to the book now and book a free 15-20 minutes conversation. And we'll take things from there. Awesome. So if there are no other questions, it was great having every one of you. In 2 weeks, I have someone else who is going to be joining us. He was the founder of a tech company that built their user base to up to 1 million and then sold to one of the leading edutech in Africa, right? He's going to be joining us, and the topic is just simple. How do you attract a user base as a B2C business in Nigeria? He's going to be giving us his insights on how he built 1 million organic users on his edutech platform that's been sold now or acquired. And I look forward to he's a really quiet founder, but one of those founders who just work on the ground and doing amazing things for Africa. Thank you so much, Ogiva. If you would like to join, we'll have that flyer come out sometime this week. I'm sure it will be a pleasure having him as well. Thank you so much, Bookie. I think you reinforced a number of things for me, and I'm sure for a number of people here around the need to have the right structure, the need to, take note of your taxes and follow through on that. The need to reconsider your business structure if you're looking to move out of Nigeria, so that you can give control to the guys who are on ground, and the law protects you and your business in doing so. I'll say those were the strongest things for me and was really insightful. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a fantastic evening.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Everyone, bye.